Dr. Nanda Kumar Lakshman Kadam, Head Department of Accountancy, Jaisingpur College, Jaisingpur, welcome you in this interesting session. Today we will discuss the Unit 2 of the subject Financial Accounting Paper Second for BCom First. The title of the unit is Conversion of Partnership Firm into Limited Company. In this session, we will discuss accounting in the books of partnership firm only. We are concerned with the accounting treatment in the books of partnership firm. Okay? Let we will enjoy the unit. What is the meaning of conversion of partnership firm into limited company? When a company is formed by taking over the assets and liabilities of a partnership firm, or you may say business of a partnership firm, it is called as conversion of partnership firm into limited company. Means the existing form is partnership firm. You know the business organization forms. It may be a sole traded, it may be partnership firm, it may be private company, it may be a public company, cooperative society. These are the forms of business organizations. Existing form is partnership firm. Now the business is being taken over. The business is taken over by the company, which is newly formed. It means a company is formed and this company takes over the business of partnership firm. It is called as conversion of partnership firms. Means assets and liabilities are transferred to the newly formed company. The conversion may be in another form. The conversion may be in the another form. That is, when an existing company purchase the business of a partnership firm. Existing company purchase the business of partnership firm. It is also called as conversion. It is the sale of a partnership business to the company. But it can be called as conversion because existing company takes over the business, acquires the business, purchases the business of a partnership firm. Okay, so in both the cases, the partnership firm is dissolved and the assets and liabilities are transferred to the company, either newly formed or an existing company. So the form is changed from partnership firm, form of organization, from partnership firm to the limited company. Okay, so this is conversion of limited company. Now we will see what is the need of the company. What is the need of conversion of partnership firm into limited company, or you may say objectives or reasons for conversion, or you may say advantages of conversion of partnership firm into limited company. These points express all the advantages of the objectives or the need of the conversion. Okay, the first point is taking advantage of limited liability. What is meant by limited liability? When a shareholder purchase the shares of the company, if the company is liquidated and has to pay, the company has to pay outside liabilities. The limited liability means the liability of shareholder is limited to the shareholdings, not more than that. This is called as limited liability. It means in the case of company, when the company is closed up, when the company is liquidated and there is a need of a payment of outside liabilities, the liability of the shareholder is limited to his shareholdings. But in the case of partnership firm, when there is a need of a payment of outside liabilities, the partners even have to bring in money to satisfy the outside liabilities. Means in the case of a partnership, the liability is unlimited. It is not restricted to, it is not limited to the holding of his share in the partnership firm, but he has to bring additional capital also to satisfy the outside liabilities. This is called as limited liability. So to take advantage of limited liability, the partnership firm may be converted into company. To take advantage of less tax, company enjoys the less tax. This advantage may be taken by conversion. To get an advantage of separate entity, where the death or retirement of any shareholder does not affect the existing of the organization. In the case of partnership firm, if a partner died or if a to expand the business and to raise the required capital. If the partnership firm wants to expand the business, extend the business, okay, at such time the partnership firm may require more capital. So at that time the partnership firm may be converted so that they can raise more capital. To enjoy the better status in the market as a company, all the services of expert managerial decisions or managerial personals. Okay, so company can hire the managerial personals to get expert advice. As the business is purchased by the company, as the business is purchased by the company purchased the business of partnership firm. As there is a transaction of purchase and sale. The partnership firm sells its business, company purchases its business. It means there is a transaction of purchase or sales. It means there will be definitely price. The price paid by the purchasing company to the partnership firm for taking over the assets and liabilities or for taking over the business is called as purchase price. The business is acquired by the existing company or the new company is formed for the purpose of conversion, but the company purchased the business, the company purchased the assets and liabilities, and so the company has to pay price to the partnership firm. This price is called as purchase price, and this price can be calculated by applying any of these three methods. There are three methods for calculation of purchase price. One is net assets method, second is net payment method, and third is lump sum method. These are the methods for calculation of a purchase price. Then we will see how to calculate the price according to the net assets method. How to calculate the purchase price or purchase consideration under net assets method. The formula is very simple. For calculation of purchase consideration, just you have to deduct the agreed values of liabilities taken over from the agreed values of assets taken over. You have to deduct agreed values of liabilities taken over from the agreed values of assets taken over. So formula is assets taken over at agreed values minus liabilities taken over at agreed values is equal to purchase consideration. Friends, you have to take into consideration 2 points here in this formula. One is that here we will consider only those assets which are taken over by the company. It means we will exclude the assets which are not taken over by the new company, by the purchasing company. So we will consider only those assets which are taken over by the new company. That is more important. Second thing is that we will consider only the agreed values, the revised values, and not the book values. Okay. So what is meant by book value and what is meant by agreed value? The value given in the balance sheet. The value shown in the balance sheet is book value. And the value given in the adjustment is agreed value or revised value. Here you have to consider the revised values given in the adjustments. So what are the 2 points? One is that you have to take into consideration only those assets which are taken over by the company, and these assets are considered with the revised values or agreed values. In the same way, the liabilities which are taken over by the company will be considered and with the agreed value or revised value. The value given in the balance sheet is book value, which is not considered for the purpose of a calculation of a purchase price. Book value is not considered, only the agreed value considered. But if the agreed value is not given, revised value is not given, the value is not mentioned in the adjustment, then at such time you can treat book value as agreed value. If the agreed values are not given, then you can treat book value as agreed value. Okay. So assets taken over at agreed values purchase consideration may be settled in the form of shares of the company, debentures of the company, or in cash or through bank. There are four forms of settlement of purchase price. One, the purchase price may be settled in the form of shares of the company, form of debentures of the company, or in cash or through bank. These are the four forms in which the purchase price may be settled. Are you clear with this? Next, net payment method. Second method is net payment. This method is very simple. Just you have to add up the purchase price received in various forms. Purchase price received in various forms. Payment received in the form of shares plus payment received in the form of debentures plus payment received in the form of cash plus payment received through banks. If you add up, if you calculate the aggregate value, total value, then it will be the purchase price. Very simple. Just adding up the various forms in which the purchase price is received. Shares plus debentures plus cash plus bank is equal to purchase price. Next is lump sum method. In this method, a fixed specific amount is given as purchase price. Lump sum amount, a specific amount, a particular amount, fixed amount is given as purchase price. So there will be no need of a calculation of a purchase price. The purchase price will be directly given. In the problem, it will be specifically mentioned that the business is to purchase the following 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 50 lakhs, whatever it may be. But the purchase price is directly given, no need of a calculation of purchase price. But here also the purchase price may be settled in the form of shares or debentures or cash or bank, one or more forms. Shares, debentures, cash, bank, in one or more forms, the purchase price may be settled. The next point which is most important, that how to distribute the shares and debentures to the partners. In which proportion, in which ratio the shares and debentures are to be transferred, are to be distributed among or between the partners. How to settle their final claims. This is the most important question. Unless otherwise stated, it means if the information is not given in the problem about the distribution of shares and debentures, then such shares, such debentures are distributed between or among the partners in their final claim ratio, last adjusted capital ratio. Okay. How to calculate the last adjusted capital ratio or the final claim ratio? After adjusting reserve fund or general reserve, profit loss account balance, goodwill, asset or liability taken over, realization profit or loss, all these etc. All these points are to be adjusted, recorded to the partner's capital account. Then calculate their final claims, missing figures, balancing figures to their capital accounts. Calculate the ratio of these figures, these balances. This will be the final claim ratio or last adjusted capital ratio. I repeat, prepare partner's capital account and record all the transactions relating to the partner's capital to this account. Balance, reserve fund, general reserve, profit loss account balance, goodwill, asset and liability taken over, or realization profit loss. All these items are recorded and calculate the balancing figure or missing figures. Calculate the ratio of these balancing figures. What you have calculated. This will be the final claim ratio or last adjusted capital ratio. The shares and debentures received from the company is distributed in this ratio. Okay, is that clear? Okay. Then we will turn to the accounting treatment. A separate account is prepared for the purpose of dissolution of a partnership firm. A separate account is prepared, namely realization account. To this account, all transactions relating to the resolutions are recorded to the relation. Okay, so first we have to transfer all the assets to the realization account by passing simple entry, that is realization account debit to all assets account. Realization account debit to all assets account. Okay, with book of value given in the balance sheet. There are two rules. One is that cash and bank balance is transferred to the realization account only if these assets are taken over by the company, otherwise not. And second, fictitious assets, that is profit and loss account, loss balance, or any other such loss. Such loss is not transferred to the relation account, but it is transferred to the partner's capital. Profit and loss account, loss balance is not transferred to the relation account, but it is directly transferred to the partner's capital. Okay? Cash and bank balance is transferred only in the case it is taken over by the company, otherwise not. Okay, and profit and loss account balance, though it is shown to the asset side of the balance sheet, it is directly transferred to the partner's capital account and not to the relation account. And all assets are transferred to the relation account with their book values given in the balance sheet. In the same way, the liabilities will be transferred to the relation account. Simple entry, sundry liabilities account debit. If there is 0 outflow debts is given in the balance sheet, it will also be transferred. So sundry liabilities account debit, upgrading account debit to relation account. The rule is said that the liabilities are transferred with the book values. The liabilities are transferred to the relation account with their book values. Okay, clear? Liabilities is also transferred. Liabilities means outside liabilities. It means capital and reserves are not transferred to the relation account. Capital and reserves are not transferred to the relation account. It is directly transferred to the directly taken to the partner's capital. Okay, liabilities are transferred with the book values and only outside liabilities. Next is transferring the profit balances and loss balances to the partner's capital given in the balance sheet, shown in the balance sheet. Okay, so simple entry will be passed. Reserve account debit or general reserve account debit, profit and loss account, profit balance, that is credit balance, account debit to partner's capital. And all these items are distributed among the partners or between the partners in their profit sharing ratio. In their profit sharing ratio. In the same way, if there is loss shown in the balance sheet, if there is any loss shown in the balance sheet, it should also be transferred to the partner's capital account, and for this purpose, entry is passed as partner's capital account debit to profit loss account to other losses account. These losses are also distributed among or between the partners in their profit sharing ratio. Then next entry is for purchase price receivable. For purchase price receivable. Entry purchase price receivable, purchasing company account debit to realization. Purchasing company account debit to realization account. Simple entry purchase price receivable. This purchase price may be received in any form, one or more form in which the purchase price is received. The form in which the purchase price received is to be debited. So if shares are received, shares in purchasing company account debit. If debentures are received, debentures in purchasing company account debit. Cash received, cash account debit. Okay, bank the payment is received through bank, then bank account debit to purchasing company. Okay, simple entry. You have to debit only those forms which are implemented, which are used for the payment of purchase price. Okay, so if purchase price is received in shares, shares account debit. If purchase price is received in debentures, debentures account debit. If purchase price received in cash and bank, cash account debit, bank account debit. Okay, the form in which the purchase price received only should be debited here to purchasing company. And next entry for payment of relation expenses, simple entry, relation account debit to bank. Next entry for recording the unrecorded assets. Suppose you have given information in the adjustment that there are some assets which are not recorded, which are not considered while preparing the balance sheet. Then such assets should be bring into accounts. And for this purpose, entry will be passed as assets account debit to partners capital account. In the same way, some liabilities are remained unrecorded. Some liabilities are remained unrecorded. These liabilities also should be bring into accounts, and the entry will be partner's capital account debit to liabilities account. Unless otherwise stated, it means if the information is not given in the, if the specific information is not given in the problem, then such assets and such liabilities are transferred to the capital in their capital ratio. In their capital ratio. Then we will see, if any asset is not taken over, then what is to be done with such asset? Such asset may be sold, may be realized. Such asset may be taken over by any person, any partner, okay, or such asset may be distributed among or between the partners. There are three possibilities. If any asset is not taken over by the purchasing company, then there are three possibilities. Such asset may be realized, such asset may be taken over by any one partner, or such asset may be distributed among or between the partners. So the entry will be, if the asset is sold, cash or bank account debit to realization account. If the asset is taken over by any one partner, then that partner's capital account debit to realization account. And if such asset is distributed among or between the partners, then the entry will be all partners capital account debit to realization. Okay, all partners capital account debit to realization. Is that clear? While transferring, while distributing such untaken asset among or between the partners, you have to use the capital ratio. Unless otherwise stated, the untaken asset, the asset which is not taken over by the company, is distributed among or between the partners in their capital ratio. Okay, if the information is not given. In the same way, if any liability is not taken over, in the same way, if any liability is not taken over, then there will be also three possibilities. One is it may be paid out. Second, it may be taken over by any one partner. Or third, it may be distributed among or between all the partners. Okay. So the entry will be passed up for payment of liability, that is realization account debit to cash or bank account. If such liability is taken over by any one partner, then entry will be realization account debit to that partner's capital account, and if the liability is distributed among or between all the partners, then entry will be all partners capital account debit to realization account debit to all partners capital account. Realization account debit to all partners capital account. Unless otherwise stated, this liability is distributed among or between all the partners in their capital ratio. In their capital ratio. Okay. Next, for treatment of realization profit or loss. Treatment of a profit or loss on realization. If there is profit, simple entry, realization account debit to partners capital. And if there is loss, reverse entry, that partners capital account debit to realization account. This profit or loss is distributed among or between all the partners in their profit sharing ratio. Okay? And the last entry for settlement of final claims of partners. Settlement of final claims of partners. Okay? What is the entry? All partners capital account debit to shares in purchasing company account, to debentures in purchasing company account, to cash or bank account. As already stated, this is the final settlement of the partners, so it should be made in their last adjusted capital ratio. In their last adjusted capital ratio. It means prepare the partner's capital account, record all the transactions, that is balance, reserve, goodwill, asset taken over, liability taken over, okay, profit or realization or loss or realization, make all the adjustments on partner's capital account, calculate the missing figures, balancing figures, and calculate the ratio. That will be the final claim ratio, last adjusted capital ratio, and distribute these shares, debentures, and cash in this final claim ratio. Okay, very clear? Thank you, but I expect from you your comments regarding my lecture. Thank you very much.